Alright, hello everybody, and today I'm going to be telling you how to get the Crafty trophy in Terraria. Now, the wiki tells you all the crafting stations you need, but I'm just going to tell you about all of them, and how to get them, where to get them, and just give you a general idea. And I just recently got the platinum for this game, so I'm very happy about that. That was a ridiculous grind, but I'm glad I finally got it. So, I'm just going to tell you where to get these, how to get them, and what to craft. So we're going to start off with the forges for hard mode, which is the Adamant Forge or the Titanium Forge, whichever aura your world has. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You make one of these forges and then you use them. Next up is the Auto Hammer. Now the Auto Hammer you get from the Truffle NPC, which is him right there. In order to get him, you have to be in hard mode, and he spawns once you kill the Plantera boss in the jungle, if I say that name right. And you have to make an above ground mushroom biome, which is pretty easy to do. If you don't know how to do it, just YouTube it real quick. And the Auto Hammer is used to make shroomite bars, which you have to get. You need Chlorified Aura and Mushroom, something from the Truffle NPC. Next up is the Bookcase. Now the Bookcase, you can only make stuff with it in hard mode. And you make these 3 weapons, these spell tombs. In order to make them, you need Soul of Knights or Soul of Lights. I went with the Golden Shower, where I need a spell tomb, which you get from the Wizard, and Ichor, which you get from killing, I forget what they're called, but they're found in the Crimson and Soul of Knights. It was pretty easy to make. Bone Welder, you get that in the dungeon, and you use bones, which you find from the dungeon mobs. It's pretty easy to get and pretty easy to find. The Blend-O-Matic is found from the Steampunker. And that's pretty much it. The Steampunker spawns in hard mode and once you kill one mechanical boss. And that's pretty much it, how you get the Blend-O-Matic. Now the campfire you can only make with one thing, which is marshmallow on the stick. Technically you can't even craft a marshmallow on the stick. You can, but you have to make a cooked marshmallow. In order to get a marshmallow, you have to build, let's see if I can find them. You have to go in a snow biome, and you have to get this guy to live in a snow biome, and he will sell marshmallows. He doesn't live in a snow biome, but he will sell marshmallows. And then you grab some wood, you craft marshmallow on the stick, you walk over to a campfire with the marshmallow stick, and you cook it for about 10 seconds, and there you go, you made something. Cooking pot's pretty easy and self-explanatory. You just make food. I went with soup, which you need a bowl, some mushrooms, and something else. I can't quite remember. And you can find this. You have to make this. Now, the Crystal Ball you have to buy from the Wizard. And in order to use the Crystal Ball, you come over here. And you can use it to craft with honey, lava, or water. And that also brings me to my next subject. You actually have to use bottles, because this technically counts as a crafting station. You have to go to water, and you have to make bottled water. And then you also have to go to honey, and you have to make bottled honey. Now for lava, you can't make bottled lava. It's just not, you can't do it. So, but you have to use lava as a crafting station according to what the wiki says. So I just went by and I used a bucket and just picked up lava. That's at least what I did. And I still was able to get the trophy. Or maybe you don't even have to do that at all, but I still recommend doing it. And same thing with the Crystal Ball. Use it for all 3 of these things. Next up is the dye vat. The dye vat is used to make dyes, and it's pretty easy to get dyes. I found numerous dyes while playing the game, and you can also buy some paint from the painter, and you can use that to make dyes. And In order to get the dye vat, you have to, let me think. Oh yeah, you purchase from the dye trader. So yeah, that's how you get it. And also, one thing I wanted to say is you also have to use the Crimson Altars or the Corruption Altars. That counts as a crafting station too, but you have to go to those anyway in order to progress through the game. So you're going to use those regardless. Next up is the Flesh Cloning Vat, which you get from the Steampunker. And in order to use the Flesh Cloning Vat, you're going to need the meat grinder, I believe. Yes. Yes, you're going to need the meat grinder, which I'll get to on how to get the meat grinder very soon. Next up is the furnace. You have to make the furnace in order to progress through the game, so that's pretty much it. Next up is the glass kiln. It's just an upgraded version, really. And you get it from using, well, iron and torches. Or lead. Whatever you have in your world. So if you have iron, you use iron. If you have lead, you use lead and torches. And the glass kiln is pretty self-explanatory. I use glass, and you can make glass themed items. Heavy workbench. It's just a better version of the workbench used to make more advanced stuff. And it's kind of like the glass kiln where you need to use lead or iron and you combine it with wood. And you can craft, I use stone blocks really in order to make stone slabs. It's pretty easy to get and knock out. So you have the Hell Forge, you have to get that to progress through the game. Pretty easy to get. Alright, next up is the honey dispenser. This is found in the underground jungle and those chests. Now, this is kind of rare. It took me about 20 minutes to find. It only spawns in chests. And I had to go through about 20-ish chests. Because the chests, there's 8 rare items that you could possibly find in those chests. And you can only find 1 rare item in a chest. So there's a 1 out of 8 chance of every chest you open having the honey dispenser. So what I recommend is just go make a large jungle and kind of just do elevators. Just zoom out and go straight down with elevators mining. Look for the green torches that you find in the jungle and just go to them and open it. That's what I did, and that's how I was able to get it. But the honey dispenser, you make honey themed blocks, so you're going to need honey. Next up is the ice machine. This one is found in underground snow biomes. It's pretty, it only took me, I think, only 2 chests. And this thing is not that rare. It is, but not really. Like, I probably have 2 more. I found 2 more while I was just playing through the game. So, and it's used to make ice theme blocks. It's pretty easy to get. Like, this, I found this one super fast, which shocked me. Like, it shocked me how fast I found the ice machine. Next up, we have the embalming station. You get it from the witch doctor, and it's used to make toxins or poisons. This one, I just, while I was farming ichor in order to make the golden shower, I used it to make a flash of ichor. And it's pretty easy to make. You just use bottled water and just 5 ichor. So, you can do that. And next up is the iron anvil, or the lead anvil. It's up to you, whichever one your world has. Next up is the keg. Keg is pretty easy to get, like, you can get it pretty fast, and it's really only used to make one item, which is ale. So you're going to need a mug, and to get mug, you're going to use glass from a furnace to make a mug. Then you come over, then when you have that mug, you come over to the keg and you make ale. Pretty easy to get. Next up is the, and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, Lihzahrd Furnace. Pretty sure I said that wrong. They're found in the chest and the dungeon over in the jungle. So that thing right there, every jungle has it, and it's found in the chest. And it's not that rare. Like I found like 3, and it's only hard mode when you can go get it after you defeat the Plantera. Next is the craft jungle theme furniture. So you just use the bricks that you get from the dungeon. So a lot of these crafting stations are pretty easy to get and find. Some of them you kind of have to like just dig around a little bit to find, because the hardest part for me was finding the items to craft for a lot of these. That was the hardest part, and a couple of them took me a while to find. So next up is the living loom. This is somewhat easy to find. So you know when you make a world and you see that giant tree, mine down, and there should be like a little home down there, and there's a chest. Well, actually no, it's in chests, living wood chests, and there's a good chance there's probably gonna be one there. Like I found one by my second chest, so it's not that rare. Just make a couple new worlds and just go find those giant trees and just mine away. It's pretty easy to get, and it's used to make tree themed furniture, so really you just need wood. Next up is the loom. The loom is, it's a loom. It's something you need in the game in order to make beds, which are very important. And you can just make it from the sawmill from wood. And then what I used was just cobwebs to make silk, which cobwebs are everywhere in this game. Next up is the extractor. Now the extractor, it's pretty rare-ish to find. I mean, I found 3 or 4 of them playing through the game. They're only found in chests, and it turns silt, slush, and desert fossils into coins, aura, gems. So it's a good way to make money. And it can be found in gold chests, wooden chests, and ice chests. So this one you might have to do some grinding to find. I just recommend while you're looking for the ice machine. Oh great, we got pirates. While you're looking for the ice machine, you should be looking for this as well. But you'll find the ice machine faster than the extractor. At least you better, because like I said, that ice machine, I found it pretty fast. Next up is the meat grinder. This thing was the one that took me the longest to find. Like, it took me a good 50 minutes. So, meat grinder you find in Crimson Underground. Okay? And the meat grinder you use goes hand in hand with the flesh cloning vat. So you're going to need the meat grinder in order to use the flesh cloning vat. And it's only found in hard mode. So, and it's dropped very rarely, and I mean very rarely, from Herpling's Crimsline, Floaty Gross, and Crimson Axe. So what I recommend is you go down to you just make a battleground in the underground Crimson. You get a couple battle potions, water candles, and you just farm. And it's probably going to take you a good 30 minutes to an hour. It took me a long time to find it. And also here's another thing I should tell you. If you're like me, because this is an old world, like this whole world, this is a world I made like a year ago. So like I had to make a new world in order to find the meat grinder, because I was down there farming, and then I started thinking about it. And so you're gonna have to make a new world in order to like get the enemies to spawn these new items. And that also like if you're like me, just make a new world in order to find a lot of these things, because a lot of these I had to go make new worlds. So next up we have the Mythrit anvils, or the Orichalcum anvils, if I said that wrong. So you need to use one or the other, not both. I thought you had to use both. You only have to use one or the other. And you have to go in hard mode, and you have to make the ore spawn. Next up is the sawmill. It's pretty easy. You just use wood and I believe iron to create. Let me check. Oh, you need iron or lead, wood, and a chain. So finding the chain might be a little bit hard for you to do. But in order to, what I recommend is, oh my god, pirates. These things are the hardest to get to spawn in order to get the pirate NPC, but I just used it to make mannequins. Next up is the sky mill, which is found in the floating islands in the chest, and it's used to make floating island themed furniture. So what I did was, I mean, you should find it by your second or first island. This thing spawns pretty good. And as soon as you get it, just mine the island. Just destroy the walls and the furniture and the blocks, and you can use that to make sky island furniture. So next up is the solidifier. Another item bought from the steampunker. Quite a bit of your stuff is bought from the steampunker, which sucks because I had my steampunker glitch or something for one of these items. And it's used to craft slime themed furniture. So all you really need is just some gel. You get a couple gel and you can make a slime block. Thing's pretty easy to get. So next up is the steampunker boiler, and this thing I've heard some people have problems with. I was one of those people. So my steampunker for some reason didn't have it. So I had to go make a new world, get the steampunker to spawn, and she had it. I don't know why it was the boiler, but it just was the boiler. Maybe because they added in an update or something, but use the boiler to make steampunker theme items. So really all you need is just buy cogs, and that's it. That's all you need. Buy a couple cogs and make some bathtubs or couches. It's pretty easy to get, but if that happens to you, just make a new world and get the steampunker to spawn. It's pretty fast to get them to spawn if you have decent weapons like I do. If you have decent weapons like I do, it's pretty easy to get her to spawn. So next up we have a wooden table and chair, and the alchemy table and the tinker's workshop. So you get the tinkerer to spawn after you defeat the goblin army, and you have to find them underground somewhere bound, kind of like freeing the wizard and the mechanic. And you need a chair and a table. Chair and a table. You need to make something from that. A bottle. And then your good old workbench. You also need to use that crafting station. And then the alchemy table. You need to make some potions. And that's just about everything, except you also have to use your hand. So like, you just have to open up a crafting menu and make something by hand. So it can be anything like coins. There, make copper coins. Or just make some wooden platforms or torches, something like that. And I believe that's everything. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'm sure I probably forgot something. Maybe I didn't explain something good enough. Getting all the crafting stations isn't hard. There's just a few that are hard, especially like that meat grinder. I swear that took me so long to get. Probably the longest. Next would probably be the honey dispenser. That took a while, but it was actually pretty easy because all I did was just dig straight down, just making elevators and just looking for that green ore. It's pretty easy to find. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But that's pretty much it. Shouldn't take you that long to find all these crafting stations, but if you are thinking about getting the platinum for this game, I highly recommend you hurry up and do it. At least get the NPCs, the crafting stations. If you can, the pets. That's gonna take a while though to get, because every time they update this game, it just gets harder and harder to get the platinum. well, it doesn't get harder and harder, it just gets more time consuming, and it just gets way too time consuming in order to get. So I highly recommend you ask for help, because there's people out there who have done this and they're willing to help other people get the platinum. But I'll put a link in the description for the Terraria wiki to show you where to get all of these crafting stations and how to get them and what to craft, so that way you have something to read while you're also doing it, because I use the Terraria wiki to find all these crafting stations. And that's pretty much it. Guess I'll show you the truffle NPC and then call it a day. It feels so good to finally have that platinum. I'm so happy I got it. And there you go. So yeah, you don't have to make your mushroom biome this high up. I just did this because I don't even remember why I did it. I just wanted to make him out of the middle of nowhere. But yeah, he's right there. But good luck everybody. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope this video helped you out. I know the wiki definitely helped me out, but just remember, if you're trying to get the platinum for this game or the achievement, good luck. I highly recommend you ask for help, follow the guides, and hurry up before they update this game, because I believe they have an update coming out next year. I don't know when, but I know they're making an update so that way we can be more current with PC. But good luck everybody. I wish you the best of luck. Bye.